Today we will learn about the div instruction, or you can say the div mnemonic, with help of one example. So basically, firstly we have to come toward the syntax, and here you can see its syntax, that is div op1, that is operand 1. It is again like mul instruction. It is also, you can say, one reference mnemonic. So what it does basically is that it divides the ex value with the operand, right? Whatever will be the latest value in ex will be divided by this operand. Okay, so in order to understand this syntax of div instruction, I am taking one example, and that is we have to write a program in assembly that takes two values from the user and divide the first number with the second number, and then we have to print the quotient and remainder using only this instruction, div instruction. So coming towards our code, you can see here header file dot data segment. Inside the data segment we declare our variables or strings like this. So here I am taking these 4 strings, and I have discussed about strings in my just previous lectures. You can understand from there if you are new. So string, this is my name of the variable, this is my data type, and I have discussed that we have to use only this byte data type with the strings. Enter first number, and then we have to close this statement with 0 like this. This is the whole syntax. And just like this, enter first number, enter second number, quotient and remainder, and these are all the things that I'm gonna display on the screen. Okay, so you might be wondering that I'm asking the user to enter the numbers, but where I'm actually inputting those numbers, right? Like when I will display enter first number on the screen, user will definitely enter something now. So where that will be storing, right? So here you can see the input goes in ex by read int procedure. We have discussed these procedures of write int, read int. So whenever we are going to take input from the user, we have to use this call read int statement. Okay, and by default all these input values gets stored into the EAX register. Like here I will be taking input from user, that will be stored in EX. Here again in the EX register. Here I am not taking input from the user. This is just for the sake of telling the user that this will be your quotient and this specific thing will be your remainder, just for that purpose, not for inputting purpose. Okay, so next coming towards our code segment, main procedure starts here. First of all, I have to display the user. I have to tell the user to enter the first number. For that purpose, we already know that we have to use these 2 statements like this. We have to move the offset of our string variable into the EDX register, and then we use this procedure call write string. And it does what? It displays the and this string that is enter first number as it is on the screen. Now we have displayed this thing on the screen, but we have to use something like the cin instruction in the C++ language, right? This is our x like cout statement, and this instruction over here call read in x like a cin instruction. Okay, whenever I have to take input from the user, I will use you can say the integer input. Okay, not any else, integer input from the user. I will be using call read int, getting the input from the user in the EAX. By default the result will go, or the inputted value will go in the EAX register. And why I'm moving this EAX in another register, the point is that here you can see I'm inputting the user value from the user, or you can say read int EAX. Okay, and here again I'm saying the user to enter the second number. Over here you can see what I am doing. I am moving the, you can say, string 2, that is enter the second number, into the EDX, again displaying the string on the screen, and then again I am inputting the value from the user, and I do know that this value will be stored in the EAX register again. This means that my previous EX value is gonna be replaced डेफिनेटली जो हमारी जो फर्स्ट वैल्यू है वो रिप्लेस हो जाएगी, तभी जाके जो मैं अपने यूज़र से जो न्यू वैल्यू लूँगी वो जाके इस EX में आके स्टोर हो जाएगी. सो in order to avoid our previous value to go away or to get replaced, I have to move that EX value into some other register for a while. Okay, before taking the next input from the user, we have to store that value in some other register. Okay, so then I'm asking the user from the second value for the second value over here by these two statements, and then the user enters the value, it gets stored in the EAX, and then again I'm moving that value in the ECX register. So now we know that my first value, which was by default in EAX, is now in EBX, and my second value, which was in EAX, is now in ECX register. We have to move these values, otherwise we cannot perform division. Okay, so next, after inputting the values, I have to display the quotient to the user on the screen. So for that purpose, I'm first displaying the string as it is on the screen, and like here, move edx comma offset of string 3 call write string. Next, what I have to do, I have to display this value of the quotient on the screen. Okay, for this I need some calculations, right? Here you can see what I am doing. I am I'm moving this 0 into the EDX. Although we don't need the EDX register for division purpose, but always first we have to clear the value of the EDX before performing this division operation. Okay, otherwise in some compilers there comes errors, not always but in some compilers. So for that purpose we have to move this 0 in EDX, and then we can perform our calculations. And I have told that how this div instruction works. It divides the ECX value with whatever EAX value with whatever is written over here. So we have to decide this thing intelligently, that whether I have to write here EAX or ECX or what. You can know this thing by our statement of the question. From here you can see I have to divide the first number with the second number. It means which value I have to decide, that which value I have to move in the EAX register and which will act as the operand. Okay, this is quite important. You can compare this statement with this. Divides the EAX with operand, and here we have to divide first number with the second number. You can say that first number with the second operand. So by these two statements I came to know that I have to move the EAX value, or you can say that the first number will be moved to the EAX register. Why? Because I have to divide the first number with this operand, that is with my second operand I have to divide my first number, and the first number for that purpose will have to be moved into the EX register. Okay, by comparing these two statements you can understand this thing, which will go in EX and which will not go. Okay, now coming over here again, you can see that EDX has to be 0, we have discussed, and here I am moving the EBX value in AX. EBX is what? First value. I moved the first value into the EBX register, and here I am again moving this EBX into the EX because I have to perform division. And then div ECX, which means that I am dividing my first value, that is my EAX value, with my second value, that is my ECX value. Okay, divides EAX with ECX. This is how this div instruction works. This is quite important. This is not a very easy statement. Okay. And then we have to consider that, okay, we have divided, we have performed the calculation, but where the result is actually going, where the result is storing, we have to take this thing into notice as well, right? So whenever we are dividing anything, we get our quotient as well as remainder. We get two things by division, right? So by default our quotient goes in the EAX register, and by default our remainder goes into the EDX register. Okay, these things are to be remembered, right? So because now you can guess over here that now my quotient is in what? My quotient is in EAX register automatically. So whenever we have to display any value of EAX, we use what? We use this statement, call write int. It does what? It displays whatever is in the EAX register. In right now my EAX contains the result of the division, that is quotient value. You can read the comments as well, you can understand it better. And here this call CRLF basically acts like a endl instruction or escape sequence in high level language, which means to you can say to bring a new line on the screen. Okay, next now we know that I have displayed my quotient value successfully, but still I'm left with my remainder value. I have to display that EDX value also, right? But here you can see that firstly, before displaying my remainder, I have to use this statement on the screen, that is remainder colon, just like we have done before for the quotient. Similarly, before displaying the EDX value on the screen, I have to use this statement. So for that I will be moving the offset of string 4 like this, offset of string 4 into the EDX and calling write string. Here I am not calling read int because I am not taking input from the user, but I have to perform my own calculation like this. Okay, so here you can see I am doing that thing, but before these two instructions I have done something over here. You have to see this thing carefully. I know that after this instruction my remainder is in EDX, but before showing that EDX I have to display the string, that is remainder string on the screen. For this purpose we know that we always move the offset into the EDX register. We cannot use any other register. And similarly, after division our remainder goes into the EDX always, not in any other register. So these four things are taking the same register again. So in order to stop the you can say to avoid the placement of the EDX remainder with any other garbage value or any other value, you have to save that EDX value, that is that remainder value, for a while in some other register, so that before using this EDX value is saved in some register. Otherwise, if I don't use this statement, then my remainder goes away. I cannot have my remainder again. Okay, so that's why I have to save that remainder first before using this instructions on the screen. This will display remainder colon on the screen, and now I have to display the actual integer value of my remainder. That was first in EDX from here, then it was in EBX, and we know that whenever we have to display any value, integer value on the screen, it must always be in the EAX register. So for that purpose I have to move that remainder value into the EAX register, and just by calling this write int function, it displays whatever lies in the EAX, right? So this is how we display the remainders and quotients, and there's a lot of movements of registers so that we don't lose our values, because we are using only 3 to 4 registers: EAX, EPX, ECX and EDX. We are doing all our functionalities with only these 4 registers, so we have to save our previous values as well before storing some new value over there, right? So for that purpose we are moving 080. This thing is basically compulsory in some compilers, so I have told as a care, but maybe not in all the compilers. You can see it yourself. But this is the basic use of the div instruction and how we save our values of EDX and AX registers. So that's all for our EDX. You can say for all our div instruction, and I can also display the result in front of you so you can understand better. Like, enter the first number, I enter 100, enter the second number, that is 50. Now just guess the remainder and quotient along with me. I guess the remainder will be 0 and the quotient is gonna be you can say 2, right? Let's check. Okay, quotient is 2 and remainder is 0. So that's it for today. I hope you got it, and thank you so much.